Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and a new video. You can probably tell we're actually picking up where we left off in the last video. So in the last video we actually said we're going to bolt the door on so that we can put this outside and then bring in the next project, which is actually the Ford Ranger. You would have seen that video before this. Chris said this morning, Rob, do you want to run over to Kent Paints and actually get me half a litre of paint? He wants to paint this in before we put the door on. He said otherwise it's pointless. The door's got to go on to come off again and then to ultimately put it back on again. So I'm going to whip off and get some paint and Chris is going to crack on with that. In the comments of that video, I think it was probably half my fault, Chris. Yeah. I showed this mirror. We was talking about these wires. Yeah. And a lot of people reached out in the comments and said, you've got to make sure you get this right mirror because it's got an outside temperature sensor. Guys, this is actually the driver's side mirror. So that did do me a favour, all of you commenting, because it has got the outside temperature sensor on it, which means it is not on the passenger one. So I can order one online. So I'm going to get that ordered today as well. That was quite lucky because I actually, when people said it at first, I was getting confused, thinking it could be in the passenger side. So really handy news there. Leave you to crack on, mate. You're going to get that flatted off. And I'll go and grab you some paint. I need to find a paint code. Where's the tag on this, I wonder? I'll probably get it off the reg, actually. Right, let's crack on. Just like that, guys. He's painted it in and it is perfect. It's actually a couple of days later now and I was quite shocked when I got in. Chris is outside, he's playing with that mower again. And guys, check that out. It was actually Claire's birthday this weekend, just gone, so I've been out doing a load of nice things with her and it looks like Chris has actually been cracking on in here. I've come in and he's got the majority of this panelled up, and as you can see, he's even got that light post spot welded in there. So when he comes in, I'm going to have to wait till he comes in and see how far along we are, but I can't believe how much of that he's actually got done. That looks perfect as well. I know it doesn't actually look straight because the van's jacked up this side, but I can't believe you hear him starting that mower in the background, guys. The chap I got it off gave me all the original books and instructions for it. And I think he's, I gave them to him on Friday and he's playing around with it. So yeah, I'll wait till he comes back in and see where we're going from here. But he's certainly done the lion's share of it, I think. I've managed to get him in, guys, out there playing around on that mower. He was only checking some stuff in the instructions and there was one button he weren't sure about, wasn't there? Yeah. So I've just asked Chris how far along we are and he said we are ready to put, he wanted to wait till I come in, obviously to film, and I did just ask if he time-lapsed the...
I think I've time-lapsed some of it.
Time-lapsed some of it, so I'll chuck that in.
It all kind of measures up okay.
I can see now the radiator's sitting on that post and sitting on that post.
Not that you can take that for definite, but it does, I don't know if we showed the thing shutting before.
Yeah, it shuts lovely.
It shuts alright and it's... So...
Yeah, you don't get back up on that.
Well, we've got to put the headlights in, but...
is that the next bit? We're going to...
Yeah, I'll be honest, I left them, Rob, because you took them out. You know what bolts go where.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'll run out of time.
Okay.
I didn't want to spend the whole weekend on it.
No.
It was just a bit of...
That's fair enough.
A little bit of spare time.
I'll be honest, I didn't expect you to do any of it over the weekend.
Got us ahead of it though.
It has got us ahead. So we're going to move on, we'll chuck the wing on, fit the headlights on.
Wing on.
Test fit everything.
Test fit both headlights. I mean, we've got a bit out of... We can unmask it now, can't we?
Yeah.
I just left that one so you could film a bit when you got here.
Okay.
But yeah, we can unmask it. The door can go on.
Yeah.
The wing can go on. headlights in. If it's all good, I've finished a bit of welding on there. Very little bit of welding to do on there.
Yeah.
A little bit of prep. Get some paint on that, and then I mean, I've not even looked at the wing. It's got a little tiny bit of damage, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
So it is going to need to go to the paint shop, isn't it?
Yep.
But
Right,
there's not a lot of paint on this.
No, there's not, no. Let's crack on and try it all on there, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Guys, that couldn't have gone any better. So we bolted the hinges onto the door first, and then put the door on. Chris, can I just pop that? Opens and shuts exactly the same gap as the other side. What is a little bit unfortunate, I knew this door had a little tiny few chins down it, and Chris said, I think we'll touch them up, Rob, and that'll be fine. And the same with the wing. But Chris actually noticed on inspection, it's actually got a couple of really nasty gouges in it. So that whole door's gonna have to be painted. And of course we're gonna change that horrible handle. The front wing, again, all the gaps, everything, all lined up perfect. Here, as you can see, I haven't actually stuck the back bolt in yet. We just wanted to make sure that this was 100% before we actually stuck that bolt in, because that's a nightmare to get to, Chris, isn't it? Yeah. Headlights, both of them in, bonnet shuts down, and the gaps, both sides, are exactly the same and perfect. So basically, we're happy now with this. Yeah. This is definitely straight.
Yeah.
So Chris has actually got a bit of welding there to do.
Yeah.
And
a little bit of
paint, a little bit of prep and paint, and actually tidy that up. And I can actually say, can't I, we've got someone coming in this video to do something else to this van.
Yeah.
And also, Chris just said, now we do need that paint. Even if we didn't need that paint, we need to get this MOT'd, and we really are moving along with it quite fast. Rob, we need that mirror. So I'm not even going to tell you where I'm going to have to go to get this mirror, guys, to get it today, but I'm going to jump in my little van and I'm off out on another jolly. I'm going to go and pick up the wing mirror. Most important,
door
really.
Mirror, Ivy?
Sorry?
Door mirror.
Door mirror, rather, Chris. You don't have to keep telling me. I've stopped listening, as people say. I'm going to go and pick a door mirror up, but honestly, we don't know whether... Let's just open this up. We're not sure if that's short reach or medium reach. So what I've actually decided to do, I've just spoke to the company, and they said, bring your mirror with you, and we'll make sure that you go home with the right one. So I'm going to head off and get a new door mirror. How about that?
That's it, mate.
Seemed a bit weird saying that. Felt like a new word to me. I'll leave you in Chris's capable hands. They was quite nice. Got the new mirror. I rung the dealer just out of curiosity before I left. £397 for a door mirror. I said it again. And I also rung, I think, like Euro car parts. It was 179 plus VAT. And of course they're pattern ones. Now this place I've never been to before. I'm in Essex, and Chris found it on eBay. £58, and I thought that does sound cheap, and that's more why I wanted to go and collect it as well. And when I got there, the guy said, yeah, we supply, like, you know, Euro car parts, and anyone else that sells these pattern wing mirrors. He said they are a good fit and he sells hundreds of them. So it was 58 quid, and when I got there he went, oh, you've come and collected it, just call it 50 quid, we're going to save on the postage. So got the mirror, and Liam's just texted me, he is going to be at the yard in about 20 minutes, so I need to let Chris know. And he's got the windscreen, he's picked it up, and he's going to come out and fit that today as well. So hopefully Chris can capture a little bit of that. I don't think I'm going to get back to the yard today. Like I said, I'm just about to set off from here. Depending on the traffic, we might have to pick up in the morning. Just as I expected, guys, I did not get back here last night, so it's the next morning. But Chris pulled it out of the park. This van is now done. No more welding, no more straightening out. Everything is back to how it should. And I showed this previously in a video. Looks very, very nice. Shame about a couple of little marks in it. But you can't have it always, your way always, can you? You know, sometimes you've got to expect it. So I bought those mirrors in. And as soon as I got here this morning, I've just chucked Chris's coffee. He is actually stripping out the original door. And I weren't sure why at first, but like Chris said, that's done 5,000 miles, that central locking latch, as has everything else. Yeah. And that other door you said's probably been round the weld. So
that's the thing. So
things do wear out. And of course, when it comes to the slam locks, I mean, some of you will agree, some of you will disagree, but the option is going to be there for the new owner. We're not actually fitting slam locks back on this vehicle.
It'll only be the driver's door.
The driver's door is missing,
which is
isn't
fine, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and of course that nice new handle. But that will be going with it, and if they decide that they want to fit those, that is a possibility. But we have only got one slam lock key, but 2 keys for the van. And once you shut them doors, there's no way of getting in there unless you break the window. So yeah, we're going to go without that one. Anyway, what's next, Chris? Mirror.
We've got the wiper motor mechanism.
Got to be bolted in.
Which you got the other day.
Yeah.
That's got to
is
go
there
on.
anything
then
else?
The scuttle can all go back in once it's bolted in. And
is there anything else that I need to go out for? That's it, isn't it?
I don't, wheel and tyre. Well, not actually, I think the tyre's perfect.
And I bought 2 wheels.
Just needs a wheel swap, tyre swap into the wheel.
Right, I'm going to get that done now so that we haven't got to leave here all day. We can just crack on with it. Right, let's go and get that done. So guys, you would have seen on that bit of time lapse, I fitted all of the wiper motor, scuttle panel. That all went quite straightforward. Chris is building up the door, put the handle in, he's put the mirror back on. He's had to change the whole wiring loom there. But bit of a win for you, Chris. Bit of a fail for me.
Yeah.
Because I fitted all of that up, guys, and the motor is actually burnt out and seized solid. So we've give £60 for a motor that's burnt out, and I've just had to go around and buy another new one, which was £42, and we got to use our original mechanism. So it's kind of, I've built it all up, I had to strip it back down, but sometimes this happens. I'm going to get that new motor fitted, and then we'll plug it in this time before I bolt it all in place. Let's carry on. Moving along very, very nicely there, guys. I'll be honest, I haven't been and got the wheel yet. I got kind of sidetracked with us cracking on with it. That's really nice now. No slam lock, and that actual lock in the door does work perfectly. Chris is just over there putting the passenger side mirror in, and then that door will be just a bit of building up, and that will be complete. Wipers, washers, no water in them, but the wipers are now all working. Shame about that, but like I said, sometimes things just happen. There's a few warning lights as well saying to check, but we've got to expect that. Everything's been unplugged. I have just chucked the back light in there that we got and pulled the bumper out, and I'm going to start the process of building this up. It's going to want a serious clean, and you can see that is quite grey, so we'll have to make sure that we get that back to black and have it all one colour. But I'm just going to grab the bolts, start building that up. Luckily we did have the bolts, because that's the broken part of the bumper there that I removed, so we got all the original bolts to bolt this back up in place. The surround there, the grille, I think we've pretty much got 99% of what we need now, so let's continue on. So that's our original wheel, guys, the one that was severely buckled. And when I went to that van spares place, I bought 2 wheels, didn't I? So one's going to become the spare, and this one had the ball tyre on. I've had our original tyre from this rim put onto this wheel, so we'll get that on the van. And then I think there's really not going to be that many little jobs left to do. We're really getting there with it now. Finally leaving the workshop. That's the front bumper all on there. I had to fold the mirrors in for Chris. We've just been going through, checking everything, checking the indicators, lights, and just trying to mess around with this bumper. Little bracket underneath there, a little bit bent. Of course, put that wheel on. And yeah, and I'll put the spare underneath as well. What's that beeping? Just because you're going backwards?
Yeah.
That's awkward, isn't it, that handbrake that side? A few people did mention it in the comments.
Yeah.
Got,
might have to plug in.
yeah, what you got?
Engine management light, no messages, just obviously that's time
Yeah.
set.
To be completely honest, what about that wire we found underneath this headlight? There's a plug, isn't there? A fairly big plug with a grey and a black wire.
Something else been...
Maybe something does work, but we can't find it. Your wipers and washers work. All of the try the side lights. I don't think it has side lights, does it? It's daytime and full lights. Yeah, indicators. It's on the stalk, I think. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect. So we've got a few little niggly jobs left to do on it, but I suppose, should we plug it in this video?
Might as well.
Because it's saying check lights, check daytime. I'll check the back ones now, and then we'll plug it in. Hopefully, do you think we get time to take this for an MOT as well?
Well, I want to.
It'd be nice, really, wouldn't it? Even though we've got a few little bits to do, like the wheel arch liner, nothing really stopping us, is there? Well, I'll check the back lights, yeah. So guys, believe it or not, we've actually got enough faults here to light up a Christmas tree, but we're actually going to completely disregard all of them because the battery's been flat. It's been sat in that compound for years. It's been started up, turned off. It's just been it's been charged and then not charged, and we've left the back doors open with the lights on. So like Chris just said, well, probably most of them are low voltage. So what I'm actually going to do is clear them all and then run it again and see if any of them come back, but they probably won't stationary, so I will need to just keep an eye on it, run it over for an MOT, and if it does come on, obviously I'll check it when I get there, because we can't have an engine light on for an MOT. So I'm just going to go ahead, go through them and clear them all, guys. Chris actually said to me there, guys, Rob, you better like sort of show a little bit of it, and he's right. So guys, just as we expected, battery voltage, left directional indicator, right hand indicator, right hand brake lamp, there was no light in there, daytime running light. So of course we've had all that unplugged and we've run it without it. So let's get that cleared. Chris is just messing around with the worst thing to mess around with. They're so awkward, aren't they? It's a tight fit, the little door rubber on the wiring, and you've got to get it right, otherwise it just chafes through the wires on the metal of the door and you have all sorts of problems. So let's carry on. We've just pulled it outside the yard, guys, and we've just having a chat about it. There is still a few little niggly bits to do on this van. So you can see the wheel arch liner's missing this side, and I couldn't actually get one from that parts place. So what I've actually decided, we've actually ordered one from the dealer. We're waiting for a couple of little bits to come in, but Chris just said to me, Rob, it's not going to stop you today from actually running this over and getting an MOT on it. Just make sure that that's all right. So the plan is I'm actually going to take that for an MOT. Do you know what, guys? While we are just standing here, I know someone's going to mention that Fiesta. That is going to be going up for sale either this weekend or next weekend. We had a few problems with it. It's actually been back to the dealer and it's had the recall done, which that other car had already had it done, but it's all new. So it's got a new header tank, it's got the new little sensor in there, everything's been done, but it still kept coming up with that temperature light and the fan wouldn't work. So I actually dropped it down to Dave Patrick's one day last week, and now that car is absolutely faultless. Doesn't have one fault and everything's been done to it. So apart from a little bit of a clean up, and that'll be ready to go. So anyway, let's head over, get this MOT'd. We'll take it for an MOT and see how we get on. So guys, that went really, really well. We had to take it somewhere, not our usual MOT garage. We had to take it to another one because it's class 4, I think they call it, and straight through its first MOT. No advisories at all. 5,284 miles, and honestly, it drives like a brand new van. I said to Chris, I'm expecting it to pull a little bit, like a little bit over the road, maybe have some noises, but there was nothing at all. It didn't pull, but the steering wheel was slightly, let me just spin that round. You see how far that was? It was right hand down that much. So I actually took it for tracking, and it was that front wheel, but obviously he has to adjust both of them. Now the steering wheel is straight as anything, and you can actually take your hands off it and it drives in a perfectly straight line. So it's really, really, really good news. It's been a lot of work, this van, and it has been a lot of work for Chris, welding, filler work, painting, etc, etc, but we really have turned a corner with it now, and it is sort of just the little niggly bits to do, and of course the paint shop's jobs to do as well. So let's go inside and tell Chris the good news. Guys, it might be a little bit different today because I've actually just used the other tripod. We're using the other one outside. Now I've just come in and told Chris the fantastic news, and to be honest, we was kind of expecting it anyway. It is like a new vehicle, and I just said to Chris, where are we going with this one? Like, what did I say? What's the next video? And Chris said, Rob, just do the numbers. Like, we like to get things done as quick as we can, don't we? And
the paint shop's very busy.
yeah, so I'll explain that bit in here, I think. Basically, Chris, we've booked that van in for paint, and we are looking at about 10 days. You can't just take it to any paint shop. It's quite a large van, and the one that we use, he's got nothing for 10 days. So Chris said, do the numbers on it, Rob, and offer it as it is, because there's no bare metal on that, is there?
No,
they are just
cut the marks on the panels.
Cut the marks on the panels. You cleaned up that dent at the back and got every single mark off of it. So you can barely see it now in the rear panel. So in an ideal world, to make it mint, yes, it does want a little bit of paint, but Chris said we're not going to do another video on it, Rob. There's loads of little loose ends that we'll do in between jobs.
Yeah, when the
splash turns up, and etc, etc. So he's given me the book here, and we've decided to actually do the numbers on it and give people the option to purchase it as it is. Yeah. So without the paint, because you could get in that and go to work tomorrow.
Well, I think a few people in the previous video commented it'd likely go for a camper van conversion because it's such low miles.
Yeah, should I mention that in here as well?
Well, it seems pointless doing the dent in the side if it goes for...
Because it'll have a window in there.
Right.
Shall I mention the phone call that I made the day when it come?
You can do.
So I can't remember the name of them, but Chris said, God, if there's a candidate for a motorhome, this is the one, Rob. 5,000 miles on it. And I rung a company. I'm not going to say the name because I genuinely can't remember. I just Googled camper van conversion kits. You're going to remember the price because I didn't.
Well, it was actually what surprised me was...
December.
Yeah, earliest slot.
The earliest slot they had was December. Don't get me wrong, this is a company that does them. And I even said to him about buying the kit. And he said, sorry, we don't do that. How much was it? Can you remember roughly? £24,000 plus VAT to convert that to a motorhome. So we decided to fix it and sell it as a van.
Right.
So guys, a lot of you have been really looking forward to what we paid to it. You make your profit most of the time when you buy a vehicle. And I think I've said from day dot, it's no secret we're gonna do all right out of that. Now the purchase price was £6,000. That was a bargain. Delivery, it was a long way away, £400. Bumper corner, £50. Door, £150. The wing, £100. Rear light, £50. Crash limiter by 2. So the bumper bar with the little bar underneath it was £100. Wiper motor, that turned out dear, £60. Wheel rims, £80 for 2. The cap for the centre of the wheels, 10 quid. What's that? Oh, the bottle cover, that's on the scuttle panel,
that's it.
£20. New mirror, £50. New wiper motor, I can't believe I'm saying that twice, £43. What's that there, Chris?
Arch and front panel.
Arch and front panel, yeah.
The second
The cuts.
Yeah, the cuts.
£250. Windscreen, probably the dearest one we've ever bought, £180. And it's got no fancy stuff on it, has it? Paint and materials. Now, this is a bit dearer than normal, on normal 50 quid. We've had to put 80 because them drill bits ain't cheap. Yeah, they ain't cheap at all. And you actually read here, drill bits, masking tape, paint, etc.
Yeah.
MOT we've just been for was £40. Tracking was 20. Tyre swap. So they removed the 2 tyres and fitted it back on and balanced it for us, £20. And splash from the dealer was £54. The suspension actually surprised us. We got that car back on its wheels within an hour, and it cost us £127 for the parts. And the spring swap, I'll give that young lad 20 quid. So is that the total there, Chris? That is the total.
That's the total.
Total price for that van is £7,904. Now, we've just had a flick through the internet, and there was one on there for 12 grand that had done 180,000 miles. The nearest we could find to that had done 47,000, and it was 15,995. So we have decided to ask for that van, as it is, without any paintwork, £14,000. Now, it is on the register, it's category S, but it has done 5,000 miles. How do you value that? It's hard to value, isn't it?
It's very hard to find vans
with that mileage.
That condition, that mileage.
That's right. So everything on that van and everything about it, apart from the driver's front wing, the driver's front door and the driver's front corner bumper, is brand new basically, isn't it? That's going to give us a pre-tax profit of £6,096. And I would definitely say, apart from a classic Mark II Escort RS2000 me and Chris did, that's probably the best profit. If we sell that for £14,000, that is going to be the best profit I've had in 20 years of trading. I don't know about you, it's...
Yeah, I can't remember anything.
No, it's really good.
It's rare, isn't it?
It is rare. So I know quite a lot of you are going to be reaching out on Instagram saying, I'm interested, can I have a look, can I, etc, etc. Guys, just wait for me to put it on there and then send me your number, because that splash, believe it or not, they've just told me it's going to be over a week before it arrives. And like I said, there is some niggly little bits that we need to do to that, and I'll probably even run the mop over that door and the wing, just in case someone does buy it like that, and it'll all look lovely. So that is the end of today's video, and that is the end of the series on the little van. Nice quick little turnaround. Sorry Chris, people are going to ask, so we'll roughly put it in man hours. Honestly, people, you've had 4 days solid on that van.
I've had a good 4 days on it, and then you've probably had 2 days running round, haven't you?
2 days, and then what about all the little bits and pieces we've had on it all together? I think we're going to have to call it 7 days.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it?
It is
'Cause
difficult.
we have, like, some days we have 4 different vehicles we work on.
That's right,
Might not
yeah.
come across that way in the videos.
No, but yeah.
But we're...
People don't realise while I've been doing this MOT, you've been flat out doing something else
Yeah, and
that's
then
coming up.
you might leave early in the morning to go somewhere, and I might be in here.
Yeah, that's right. Guys.
Working late in the evening, so
Yeah.
it's difficult to do it in days.
Absolutely.
So,
I think most people appreciate that, and we do get a lot of people that are actually in a similar trade to us that are watching them. So, guys, we're going to leave it there. Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I should always say that at the beginning, but I forget. Don't forget, please like, subscribe and share. Follow us on Instagram for the little sneak peeks at Salvage Rebuilds, and we will see you very, very soon in the next one.